Beer for Breakfast Morning Show is brought to you by Ground Up Remodeling. Tim will take care of your needs from the ground up. Truly one of the best in Lake Placid, and we wouldn't let anyone else work on our handyman or home improvement needs. Call Tim today.
Welcome to the Beer for Breakfast Morning Show, featuring the Lake Placid legend, Toolman Tim, the local remodeling madman, and Obscure Ron, often heard but rarely seen. They're coming to you live from the Obscure Destinations Outdoor Studios in Lake Placid, Florida.
Come and get it!
No, not that Lake Placid. Advertising information is in the descriptions. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Drinking in the AM's a sin. Old Cracker's just hanging with his old friend. Beer for breakfast, what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it two. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again.
Welcome to the Beer for Breakfast Morning Show with Tim the Toolman, or Toolman Tim.
Yep.
And me, Obscure Ron. Tim is your handyman, the man with the plan,
I'm a handy sumbitch.
and he's a handy son bitch, and I'm not. So we make a good team. I talk a good game, and he actually makes things happen. So there you go. So we got a bunch of my little weeds and not weeds, palm fronds. Me and Tim cut down a palm tree in my backyard last week. Finally got around to cutting it up yesterday. Almost finished.
Did you find the clothesline?
No, I know where it's at. It was rusty anyway. I'm surprised they didn't pull that whole pagoda down or pergola down.
Oh, it was hooked to that? Yeah, it's a heavy damn tree.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad the line was shitty as it was.
I'm glad it didn't fall on me.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
That's why I notched it and cut it from the back so it would fall where I was anticipating.
Well, that
Kind
thing,
of, sort of.
it kind of fell wherever the hell it wanted to, because I was pulling it away from the clothesline, and it decided it wanted to go over there. So that's what am I going to do?
Where it goes, where it falls.
I bet those things are probably about 100 pounds a foot.
Oh, God. The
Because
trunk
they're stuff on
itself.
water.
I cut them in 3-foot pieces,
Yeah.
and I bet we'd have a hard time lifting one.
Yeah. Well, I pulled those small ones over there and put them in my fire pit, and they were probably 30 pounds, 20, 30 pounds. Those little short ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's not a lot going on here. We must have had another fire here in Lake Placid last night because it was smoky. And with my asthma, I can hardly breathe now because of it, I think, because it was coming in.
Yeah, it couldn't have been very far away.
No, it wasn't. Well, I don't know. The wind was kind of blowing. So,
Well, yeah, we had 10-mile-an-hour wind
so
probably.
it could have been just about anything.
Unlike California's 30-40-mile-an-hour winds.
Time for
Time for
Tim
an
to
opening.
officiate the show.
There it is.
There you go.
Happy days. Hey, I got an interesting birthday today.
What's that?
Elvis Presley
Really?
was born today, and if he lived till now, today would have been his 90th birthday.
You think he's not still alive?
Oh, he's eating donuts. I saw him right at the
Yeah.
goddamn Dunkin' Donut down here. He's the old guy in the corner humming.
and
Still writing songs.
nowadays with AI, you can't believe shit you see anymore. They used to say, I got to see a picture. Picture ain't going to work.
Right? Oh, that picture you got of me on the table saw isn't me, and I
Right.
thought it was. I looked like 4 times. And I was, where the hell did you get that picture of me?
He thought it was. That's fucked up.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Mona Lisa resides in Paris.
Yeah. At the Louvre.
Yeah.
The Louvre.
The Louvre. They brought that to the United States one time back in the 60s, and it was in Washington, D.C. at one of their Capitol buildings or something on display,
Mm-hmm.
and it brought over 1 million people to see it.
Really?
Just to see that bored look on her face.
Yeah, I can see that on the internet now. I won't have to go.
That'd be cool to see in person. Though,
You
once.
think so?
Yeah, just because it's such a famous piece of art. Not that it's that she's wonderfully beautiful or anything.
No, but I don't know. I've just never. My friends would say, I got to see that before I die. And I'd always say, well, when you're dead, you're not going to remember it. So what difference does it make?
Good point.
I don't know. I'm just always, I don't know. That's why I'm not, that's why Tony says I'm not very much fun.
You don't look on the bright side.
I break everything into analytics. But yeah, like, she wants to go to Paris and she wants to go. And I'm like, hey, look, I've been there. It's not great. It's not.
Yeah, that's the disadvantage of being with someone who was in the military
Yeah.
that's been around the world. They've been there, done that, got the T-shirt, and said, once is good.
Let me break your heart. It's not what you think it is.
It's like Key West, fun place to visit, wouldn't want to stay there.
Oh, and you want to bring your own toilet paper and those little things that go over the toilet seats because there's almost never toilet paper
And there's never a clean
and there's
seat.
never a clean toilet anywhere that I've ever been in Key West.
The streets are mostly the toilets for the people who live on them.
Downtown, yeah, on Duval Street.
Oh,
You go down to
yeah.
Duval Street.
I was staying in a hotel right on Duval Street one day, and the hotel was right on a corner. So I went up on the side street where the car was parked to get something out of the car, and there's this vagrant camped in this little recessed doorway. He's got his 2 bottles of beer up there, and he's reading this real thick book. I mean, it wasn't just like reading Playboy or nothing. He was
Right.
reading a serious book. And on my way back, he's standing on the sidewalk right up next to a car. And I'm thinking, he wasn't there when I went by. So I went on the other side of the car. Well, I'm glad I did, because he was just standing there in this middle of the street pissing, letting God and kids and everybody see what he had to go on
It was
with.
Key West is a strange place, man. I mean, there are little islands all around, little keys, extended keys, but the main,
Yeah, Key West is a big draw, because that's where all the nuts live
yeah,
or visit.
yeah. Fantasy Fest is where the freaks go to fly their freak flags. But I think that it's either the second or the third largest gay community in the United States.
San Francisco's probably
Number
one.
I don't remember who the next
They're
two
probably
are.
burning to the ground as we speak. They got 3 wildfires out there, and not
Well-
one of them have any kind of control.
Well,
They're
that's,
all out of control.
James Woods said he was freaking out. Not too bad. I mean, he wasn't losing it online, but he was just saying, thanks everybody for praying for me.
But my house may go up today.
Yeah, all my neighbors' houses are gone, so we're pretty sure ours is. But
Bummer.
he did all the regulation stuff and put automatic sprinklers out and they did all the deforesting around his house that they did. That's what Mel Gibson did. Mel Gibson, every time they have a fire, everybody else is burned down. His house always looks the same because he did everything. He paid the money to keep his house right.
Turned it into a rainforest around the house.
Basically, yeah. Build a moat, and if you want to drive, just drive over to it.
Oh, Peter, Paul, and Mary?
Yeah, he died.
Peter died. And did you know that he had a single that he came out with that was just him that was very famous? And I didn't realize it was him.
What, Puff?
Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah.
What do you think that song's about?
Oh, yeah. I think somebody was smoking weed after they took a hit of acid and wrote a song, is what I think.
There you go.
Yeah, because the last thing I feel when I think of marijuana is not a dragon, but all the friends that I know that did acid, that's the first thing I think of is shit like dragon. So I figured he took some acid, started smoking a little bit of dope, and wrote a song.
Well, how do you explain Bigfoot? You didn't do drugs.
Oh no, there's just so much
That's
folklore.
alcohol induced.
There's just so much folklore. I don't know. I'll tell you what I think. I think part of it with me is that I saw so much. I'd be in the woods so much as a kid.
Yeah.
And your imagination runs wild with you anyway.
Oh yeah, especially if you're alone in the woods.
Yeah, and I almost always was. I always been a loner. But not only that, it was nothing to see a bear out there because nobody hunted that property. Nobody ever.
Oh, on your
Yeah,
compound.
yeah. It was almost 750 acres.
That's a lot of
That's a
land.
lot of land, and most of it was woods because we only raised cattle on a part of it, and the other part my dad didn't want to mess with because it was Indian burial mounds and stuff like that. He just thought was sacred that he didn't want to mess with too much.
Well, they probably appreciate that.
They probably don't care they're dead.
No, their ancestors, let's say.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't think Chinese people have that. I don't think Chinese people have that.
Oh, I was noticing on your conspiracy theories, there has been no helicopters lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't seen a drone or a helicopter in 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, because they're really busy with one of the neighbors.
I always figure if they're, like if somebody's talking about me, they're leaving somebody else alone. Well, if they're watching you,
Yeah.
they're leaving somebody else alone.
Yeah, so they're not watching me. I don't think they would waste time with drones with me.
Nah.
They would just come and knock on the door with me. That's what they did in Lewiston.
They're
Tony's
gonna-
like, they want you. Shop, shop, shop. You know. But it wasn't the FBI. He was just a local cop, and he was like, I don't know what I'm doing here, but
But I'm here.
I'm here. I have to tell you this. And then here's the bad thing: is my Facebook name. I go by my middle name, Joseph. Right.
Yeah.
So when he banned me from the Chamber of Commerce, he banned Ron Joseph. I don't know no Ron Josephs. he didn't ban Ron Smith.
Check my ID, buddy. It ain't me.
I asked somebody. I asked a friend of mine that
One of your lawyer buddies.
Kevin Hayslett, that's a Florida lawyer. I asked him and I said, hey, he goes, oh, he didn't ban you, he didn't take your ID or nothing. I said, no, he was real polite. You know, he knew that we had lived there a while. It wasn't bothering. He knew who I was. And he goes, well, he thought he did anyway. He goes, no, you can go wherever you want. Because he goes, however, that poor Ron Joseph bastard's going to have a problem when he goes up there with that idea.
It's like, oh, you're on the blacklist, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Somebody got you on the no-go list. I never stepped foot in that building in my life. I don't know why all of a sudden I would.
Huh.
I'm not they wanted me to join the Chamber of Commerce 3 or 4 times. And it was $300 a month or $300 a year or some
A
shit.
year, yeah.
I'm not paying that shit for somebody to don't do anything for me.
The Moose wanted me to be their representative and join, and they would pay the freight. But I said to him, what the hell for? I mean, what's that do for us? Well, we're supposed to do so much with our community and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Part of the Moose International ruling. So you keep your little franchise. And I just straight out told them, no, I'm not interested. Find somebody else.
Well, it's easy enough to
I'd be one of those no-show seats in Congress.
adopt a highway or something, you know?
Yeah.
That's what me and Tony did for a club we were in.
Huh.
We adopted a highway in Texas, and man, the best thing about that was
You didn't pay the toll.
nobody ever threw any garbage out there, ever. And they gave us these garbage bags that me and you could both fit in. We could kill each other and fit in those garbage bags.
Body bags.
And they were big white bags, and it said, don't mess with Texas on them. They gave me a big box of them. I think we used 3 for the road. The rest of it, we just kept in the motorhome. And everywhere we went, we had big don't mess with Texas bags. That right there told people, don't go with them rednecks.
That was your flags.
That's white trash over there. Stay away from them.
Yeah, they even got white bags.
Probably got guns and hoods and silk robes and shit. It's funny how
Yeah,
people.
I wondered what that white hoodie you had was.
Yeah, right.
Covered your face and just had little eye holes.
I'm telling you, I'm way smarter than that shit.
I knew this black guy in town.
They hated Catholics. My wife's a Catholic.
This guy I knew in town here, he was a provider, let's say. And he always had his head shaved, a little fat guy. And he was always saying how he doesn't, we got pretty friendly, knowing each other. And he said something about he doesn't like the hoods. He says, I don't like hoods that cover your face up. He said, it just reminds me of other things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one day it was like 95 degrees and humid. I see him in the grocery store and he's got a white damp towel on his little bald head.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at him, I said, I thought you don't like hoods, brother. And he's like, you ain't right, man.
A lot of people ain't right.
I just saw him a week ago or so up at Rodney's gas station, the Marathon, lowest gas price in town.
Yeah.
He's got these, he went from a little fat bald guy to being a little fat guy with long dreadlocks.
Really?
I mean, they're down to his waist.
Well,
I didn't think he'd grow hair that long. He just shaved his head because he didn't want to deal with it.
a lot of people, man. I started shaving my head because I was too cheap to go to the barber, and I hated sitting in the chair that long. And I told Joni, we have a picture somewhere where I said, "Give me a reverse mohawk," and she shaved it right down the middle. And I remember I went to the convenience store that morning, and I called him Ahmed to his face.
Oh yeah, that's like Haji Mart.
But yeah, but his name's Haji.
I know. I couldn't believe it. I thought they were being disrespectful when I called him Haji. Turns out his name is Haji.
Ahmed said, "Why in the hell did you shave your head? You look ridiculous." And I said, "Well, it beats going to the barber shop every 2 weeks." And this lady that I never met before, she goes, "Can I touch it?" And I'm like, "You do what you want to, lady."
Zip, there you go.
I said, "Yeah, go ahead." She touched it. I said, "It feels weird." And the first time I shaved it and I shaved it tight. You can see I went after it. It looked like I shaved it with a chainsaw. I mean, I was cut up. But that day it was rough. But like 2 days later, it was as smooth as this table, man. It was smooth. But I like that. That was all right. So that was my hair.
That's your style cue of the week.
Yeah, that's my haircutting story. Yeah, my style cue.
Yeah, mine was yesterday where I went and got my nice curly locks shaved down to a military cut when I was a little kid.
Oh yeah.
My mom gave me
that's right.
$3 to go to Angelo,
Yeah.
pizza
pizza
man
guy,
slash
yeah.
barber. He'd go and cut somebody's hair, then come over and make your freaking pizza.
I had this eyebrow. It was so long that when I look over you, I could see it down to here on my eye. It was 2 inches. I just pulled that shit out. I pulled long eyebrows out so much in the last 2 years that I had no fucking eyebrows. I was starting to look like one of them women. You know, usually it's some Hispanic
Pluck 'em
women.
all,
Yeah. The Hispanic women take like a Sharpie and just draw it on.
Right. Shave them off and drop them
Yeah.
in.
I always want to just wipe them off when I go to the store. So you should need to trim that up a little bit, honey.
Yeah, you got a spot
You're
off.
supposed to use the thin line, not the white line.
Yeah, you don't use a Crayola crayon.
You know,
Heat it up with your Bic and then, or
I don't know.
your crack burn.
I don't know what the women do to make themselves beautiful, but
That ain't one of them.
anyway, according to Gas Buddy, the gas report that they send their information in. As always, the guy that will not advertise with us because he just doesn't want to is Marathon at $2.99 per gallon for the regular. Raceway is coming in second with $3.09, which is they're getting down there. Gateway is still at $3.13, and Seneca and Wawa are still at $3.15. So if you need gas, then you need to go on up and see the old Rodney's place.
Yeah.
Most of the time there's not a line, and it's a pretty good place to get.
It's got like
They got tire care there, and Sheldon's, if he's not in the hospital or at the doctor, Sheldon's still working.
he's got having a hip replaced. He's got a guy in there that's in there now taking his place.
Okay.
He'll be out for another month or so.
Well, they're good, honest people. You know, they get them up walking now. These hip replacements ain't like they used to be.
Oh yeah, you're out of bed
Yeah,
like
you're
4
out of bed.
hours.
Yeah,
after
you're out of bed
surgery.
walking right away, man. So
As soon as you're coherent enough
Yeah.
to understand, get your ass up, you're moving.
man, I hope I know. You know, it used to be when you broke your hip, that was it. They pretty much told your family you ain't gonna last
Put
much
you down.
longer. Yeah,
It's like a horse.
yeah, because you lose all you can't go anywhere, you can't move for months. You know.
Yeah, I know a guy who's had both hips redone, and he recovered very fast. And he's an old dude, chum bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how old he is, but he's older than I am.
Well, he's got a neat name, Chum Bucket. To me, I just always think,
SpongeBob.
no, I think somebody that must stink because I know what chum smells like.
Yeah, a chum bucket would be a stinky
that'd be
bucket
the
of dead
stinkiest
fish.
thing. That's what I told Tony. I don't know, you know.
You know, he always called me Nappy the wannabe cabana boy because I had curly hair.
Yeah. The guy that we got the dresser from,
Mm-hmm.
I told him because he has tomato head painted on his wall, and I said,
He's not the
he
tomato.
goes, no, that's
man.
not me. I said, well, the art's nice. He goes, yeah, that's why I leave it up here because the artwork is the sign
Yeah,
the sign painter did it.
Tomato Head did it.
Yeah, he did
He
a good
was
job.
actually he did some land like what do you call them? The lighthouse portrait pictures. He painted them and stuff.
Yeah.
He would just kind of lightly sketch something and with a pencil, just a rough outline. And to look at him, you'd never thought the man had this kind of talent, but he actually made them really nice pictures.
Well, that's very good work. But anyway, I told him, I said, well, he said, I'm not Tomato Head, I'm the other guy. I said, Chum Bucket? He goes, no, that's another guy. I said, okay, I don't know your nickname yet then. But,
he's Miami guy.
But I've had a bunch of nicknames, but none of them were disgusting. They were always dumb shit like Catfish or like me and Tony were Catfish and Tadpole for a while. Everybody called me Catfish and her Tadpole. And then everybody started, what was the last
My
name?
wife's and I are asshole and his old lady.
Yeah. Oh, you're the asshole?
I'm the asshole.
Wow, they don't know your family well, do they?
Yeah.
Sorry, Jody. That was a joke. Jody. What was my latest nickname? Okay. There was Catfish.
Obscure Ron.
No. It was Catfish. Oh, Turtle Man. They used to call me Turtle Man because I always had turtles.
He loves his turtles.
I like the turtles. When it's legal, I like to eat them.
I was gonna say they're good in soup.
They're good in those illegal turtles are good if you fry them.
When I was a little kid, we lived up in New York, and my mother had this friend who was kind of like a all natural kind of person. She was a nice lady, and she had on the pot a whole turtle, shell and all, boiling to make turtle soup.
Oh no!
She boiled the guts out of it, I guess, and then she would take the meat and make her own turtle soup.
I wouldn't eat none of that shit. I've got a friend that
It was actually pretty good. I tried it.
I got a friend that fries catfish with the skin on it.
A lot of people. I did that in the woods one time. We
You
were
did
out
what?
with this
You
past convict, and we were out fishing in the river, smoking weed and drinking beer, and he was, for some reason, he hung out with us kids, and he's like, this is how you do it when you're on the run, because my buddy caught a fish. Now we're standing chest deep in water with fishing poles in the middle of the river like idiots,
Yeah.
throwing rocks at each other, like these big rocks trying to splash and sink each other. Well, he finally catches a fish, so the guy takes the whole fish. We had a bonfire on the side of the river. He stuffs a stick through the fish from down its mouth and out its butthole, and he puts it over the open fire and just burns the living hell out of it, and then pulls out this freaking machete knife and starts peeling the skin back off, and he says, here, try that. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm good, thanks. And he's like, try it. And you're like, yes, sir. We're little kids, man. This
You
dude
saw
was
the-
a freaking ex-con.
You saw that I saved your life this morning.
I noticed I didn't hit my head on anything.
No, the big sand pile that's in the middle of the walkway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a mess. That was a 2 o'clock in the morning mess. Anyway,
Is
so
that what I slipped in?
it looks like our fearless leader is going to buy Greenland, or is it Iceland? I don't even remember now.
Greenland. I just saw it on the news
Yeah,
this morning. He wants to.
he's gonna. He's decided that it would make a great military base. Now, here's the
And
problem.
there's lots of minerals that was mentioned also. I
Yeah.
wondered what the big draw was.
Well, the big draw is it's
the military.
It's a military base. Yeah, so
Well, that's why we got Alaska.
that
Because
appears
it's so
to.
short to get to Russia.
Yeah. Man, and talk about the natural resources that well on that, they probably didn't realize that.
Right? That was just a bonus after the fact.
Well, he you know, the people that went after him and they sent him all to go through Melania's underwear drawer.
She frowned on that.
Oh yes, she did.
That's why she dropped out of the face. Like, you didn't see her for a long
Well, she
time.
wouldn't even go.
Because she was so pissed off that they had no rights to go in her private
didn't.
stuff.
And in Little Bear and stuff too. Well, Little Bear, that man's 6'7" now or something.
Man, he's like in college.
Yeah, Trump vows to replace a national activist or archivist after agency role in Democrat case against the president. Trump is promising to replace the head of the National Archives, thrusting the agency back into a political spotlight after his handling of sensitive documents led back to the federal indictment. We will have a new archivist, Trump told radio host Hugh Hewitt on Monday. someday when I
He's
don't
getting
care.
more news before he's in the seat than he does
Yeah.
when he's in it.
Oh yeah, well he's actually getting shit done too. So
I know, and he's not even the president yet, but he's
Well-
getting more shit done than Biden, and
Well,
he still is.
you hear what he told them Hamas people that went and attacked Israel that day with all the parachutes and hang gliders and all that?
Yeah.
What, almost 2 years ago now? He said, "You've got till the 20th.
Then
All
shit's
hell's going
hitting
to
the
break
fan.
loose for you. If my people are not back here by the 20th, shit's going down and it's going to hurt you."
There'll be a lot more
And
people.
and he's like, "Hey, look, Trump took out. He was talking to that terrorist leader with an interpreter, and he told that interpreter, if one hair on an American's head is hurt, tell him that I will kill him and his family." And the interpreter looked at Trump and said, "What?" And Trump said, "Tell him."
Exactly what I said.
And he told him, and then the whatever kind of looked at him and gave a smirk. Trump reached in his pocket and pulled out a picture of his house and showed him the picture and got up and walked away. So
so there, bitch.
yeah, and so immediately all those plans changed.
Yeah, suddenly there's a lot less terrorism.
Yeah, the only problem is going to be as soon as he's not in office anymore, they'll try the next president, and they'll try the
Right.
next president.
And hopefully the next president's got some balls like
Huh.
Trump, you know.
Yeah, hopefully, but man, I don't know.
Well, you know, politicians are a hard group to pick.
I don't know why. It was the last name is Wiles. I'm thinking that's Wiles.
I would think Willis.
Willis. I thought Willis too at first, but I think that might be two L's. But anyway, an interview with Axios, which I don't know why any Republican would do an interview with Axios.
That's a terrorist group, I take it.
No, it's just basically it's Democrats.
Oh, yeah, terrorist group.
Trump's 2024 campaign chief and longtime Republican strategist of Florida laid out a plan, an operational plan to deliver the results Trump promised to voters. Her plan, this Wiles or Willis lady, her plans include blocking potential staffers who want to work soloed or be a star, promising to not tolerate backbiting, second guessing, or being an asshole, or drama, amplifying Trump's gained knowledge about how Washington works, getting off to a quicker start with hiring and policy initiatives.
That boiled down to simple English. Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. Pretty much, man. If your boss tells you to do something,
You
do
do
it. And if you don't do it, then quit the damn job.
Or get your ass fired.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is such a big deal that. Uh-oh. Good morning, Duncan.
Duncan, a new name.
Duncan Ramsey from Canada.
Canada.
Almost our 51st state. Good morning, Duncan.
Yeah, he wants to buy that too.
Do what?
Trump wants to buy
Yeah,
Canada
no, that's
too.
what I said, the 51st state. Where would they put the flag? Or where would they put the star?
Yeah, like just side note, you just hang it off the side.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe.
Could you imagine all the flags they'd sell if they had to alter the flag for one star?
Well, that's why he wants to get Greenland too, so he can make it 52 states. And that way it's easy to remember like a deck of cards.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be a state. It'll just be like a province, like how we have part of the
Like
Virgin
Washington.
Islands and stuff like that.
Yeah, but those aren't, yeah.
'Cause they're U.S.
Territories.
but they're not a state per se. Of course, they benefit from all.
They
the,
want to be like Puerto Rico, and Washington D.C. keep begging to be states, but
they bonus or benefit like they are a state. They get all the perks of being part of the United States, but they're not like a state.
I always like people from Canada. Most of them are good. Well, there's Nickelback, but I mean,
Gay or not gay?
no, actually, I like Nickelback. That's what's so crazy is I like Loverboy, and I know what you think, but I just disagree. And I love Rush. I think Rush is one of the best bands ever because I like progressive rock. And I like Nickelback, and I don't know why I don't. I mean, yeah, it's bubblegum bullshit music, but I like it, man. I mean, I like to tap my toes to it, you know.
It's got.
And I
good
love the
beat,
Photograph song and that song that they sing like ZZ Top or whatever. That Rockstar song. Anyway, here's a something I got a lead in for this, but I'm gonna lead out with it. Dana White, Mr. UFC Ultimate Fighting Challenge, looks a whole lot like Joe Rogan guy. An ally to President-elect Donald Trump has been appointed to the board of directors of Meta platforms. That means Facebook and Instagram and one of those other ones I don't remember. This appointment is part of Meta's broader strategy to integrate influential figures. Jesus Christ, I might need a drink, man. From sports and politics into its leadership.
You gotta clear your mind.
That's just what we need, Mark Zuckerberg. We need a bunch of rich ass people that already feel like they can tell us what the fuck to do.
Tell
us
a
what
bunch
the
of
fuck
poor
to
ass
do.
people what
Yeah.
to do, right?
Yeah, so they can all take their rich monies and shove it up their asses, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
Stick to your
No offense to
mansions.
Dana White. I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I don't really care what his opinion is. Same thing with Taylor Swift. Same thing with that guy whose house is burning down.
Oh yeah,
James Woods, like the guy, funny guy.
yeah, but don't
Don't
push
care
your
about what
politics
you're, don't
on
care
me.
about what you're. Even if we align on so many, almost every thing, I don't need to hear his opinion because he can act in a movie does not mean that I don't need his advice.
He may not be the smartest guy in the world, but he
Yeah,
might be a good actor. You know?
But he is very smart. He's very smart.
That's why I hate when they have presidential elections. All these movie stars and singers, they're like, oh, Taylor Swift is going to sway 1 million votes certain way because of who she is. It's like, if you take your freaking freedom advice from a $1 billion show recording star, you're as dumb as a rock.
Do you know I couldn't give two shits who Hulk Hogan voted for?
I know.
I think it's cool that he went up there and did all those speeches, but that shit, Sylvester Stallone was at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. Oh, whoop-de-doo.
They might have to check me for a stroke because I can't get shit coming out of my mouth right this morning. But yeah, he's up there and he's talking and he's giving his speeches, and I'm like, well, that's great. But I don't give a shit what you have to say, dude. Get Joe Suitcase or Joe Lunchbox. Go get a fucking carpenter down the road. Ask that guy what the hell he's got going on.
Yeah, somebody who's real.
Go grab a small business owner. Get him up there on stage because that's the one that needs to tell you what the hell you're doing wrong.
Exactly.
Not all these bootlicking ass kissers of Hollywood and all these little pro wrestlers and all these people are. I don't need that shit. I need a guy that works for a living to go and talk to you for a little
I
while.
want a real view.
Anyway, back to my thing.
Back to the subject.
So he's trying to do this to align with conservative viewpoints. Mark Zuckerberg has praised Dana White for his role in elevating UFC's global status. The move has sparked decisions on the blending of sports, business, and political influence. You know, the sports people that take a knee during the national anthem.
Right.
And with high-tech giants, with some seeing it as an effort to strengthen ties with conservative figures. Dana White's appointment follows other significant changes at Meta, indicating a shift into its corporate governance. Now check this out. I wrote this last night. If you don't like it, then I'll be very surprised because I laughed my ass off writing it. All 3 times that I had to rewrite it. Now listen, you'll laugh.
Well, he started out with Meta in Silicon Valley, ruled the scene. But now he's got a brand new vision, gonna change the world like it's never been seen. From Meta to MAGA, switching gears, so not a Tesla ride. Might just change old Facebook's name to FitterX Book Tonight. He traded hoodies for a cowboy hat and talks about free speech and dreams. Jeff's shaking up the social world. He's no longer banning memes. From Meta to MAGA, He's got a new plan taking flight. If he rebrands old Facebook, FitterX book fits just right. Now he's riding through the Lone Star State with a laptop on his knee, singing about a freer internet and how it's meant to be. From Meta to MAGA, no longer just a tech tycoon. When he rebrands old Facebook, FitterX book is coming soon. So raise a toast to changes in the land of likes and shares. Jeff Zuckerberg's got a new anthem, but Elon Musk beat him there. Yes, just like Mars, Elon Musk beat him there.
Anyway, and that was that. I need to make it faster, but not Elon, the other jerk. Zuckerberg is moving his things to Texas, so I figured I'd do a little Texas flair to it. Anyway.
So does that mean my wife won't get thrown in Facebook jail as often?
I almost said something in the song when I was writing it. I almost mentioned maybe me and Jody and Tony will be safe now. Because they even kicked Tony off. My wife wouldn't say.
She wouldn't say shit if she had a mouthful.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because that's what my mama used to say about the preacher that we knew. She'd say, he wouldn't say shit if he had a mouthful of it. And that's about the way Tony is. Unless he's mad, then she'll say things that are even worse than shit.
Yeah. Make a jailbird.
My mother hated the F word. She would say, you can say whatever you want to, but don't use that word around me. And my brother-in-law one time said, Lucy, when you think of shit, what do you think? And she goes, shit? He goes, when you think of fuck, what do you think? She goes, I still don't want to sit around my house. I still don't want to sit around.
I think of fun.
So mama was something with.
Or fucked up, that's a different use of the word.
Yeah, really.
It's one of them words that you can use in like
a bunch
100 different ways.
Yeah. On Monday, the United States transferred 11 Yemeni detainees from Guantanamo Bay. In other words, those are terrorist people.
Correct.
To Oman. These individuals, never formally charged, were part of two groups whose resettlement now leaves 15 detainees. Wow.
So did they just set them free in a different country?
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, yeah, they sent them to Oman.
Which I have no idea
it's over there,
where that is.
They ride camels and stuff.
Good place for them.
The transfer has sparked discussions on national security, with some viewing the move towards rectifying human rights issues, while others criticize the risk of national safety.
Well, theoretically, if we were holding them without charges, we were basically not legally holding them.
Well, no, because you can do that with war crimes, and it is a war terrorism.
They were calling it terrorists, right?
Yeah, terrorism is a war crime, though. I mean, if I go...
don't get accused of a terrorist crime. That'll get you in deep shit.
Yeah. And another thing, someday I would like to get a bunch of my military friends together and just have a discussion about the Geneva Convention. Because this don't fire until you're fired on bullshit. That only works on paper.
Yeah, screw that.
The guy that wrote the Geneva Convention is basically just like the guy the engineer that decides where to put the oil filter in a car.
Yeah.
He's never actually had to do it, so he just wants to.
He just made up the rules.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have to change the oil on this. I'll put it in the fucking hardest spot you can pick on a car to get one. Take half the motor out, change oil.
Residents in Florida have been kicked out of their FEMA hotels with no place to go. Quote, our condo doesn't even have permits yet. No one is working. I don't know what the issue is with the insurance or FEMA. At least 92 units have nowhere to go. And this is a...
Oh my God, it's been long enough. You'd think they would streamline this shit.
You would think that they would have taken care of that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, here's what she has to say about it.
kicking us out on the 14th, and all of us here, I know at least 92 units, have no place to go. So what are we supposed to do?
Where are we going to go? You know, we can't go back to the original places and around.
You're screwed.
Basically,
You're screwed.
you're gonna live on the streets or in your car.
So now, nobody has any money right now. Nobody. I mean, other than, the people that Jeff Zuckerberg wants to run Facebook.
You did unmute us, right?
Yeah, we're not muted.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, Tony would have already yelled at me.
Oh yeah.
But I don't. They only care about the rich people. It's not people that are rich. It's people like me and you that if something happens to our house, man, what are we going to do? We're paycheck to paycheck people.
Yeah. If this place burns, I can't afford to rent another place and pay the
There's no way.
deposit and the security and the first month's rent.
There's
I
no
would
way.
have to live in my damn truck.
Absolutely. You couldn't even the cheap ass rundown Roachfield hotels that are around here are $100 a night.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, here's I'll let her finish.
Here, everyone's scrambling for the few places that may have vacancy.
Val Wolford also sounding the alarm. The walls inside her home still missing since the storms.
We have to start over from silverware to furniture to personal belongings. Fortunately, I have my car and a bag full of some clothes, and that's pretty much all that was left.
Val's worried her situation is about to get worse. Her message to officials is clear.
We need some more assistance, some extensions, something, till they get whatever straightened out with the permit.
And you see what's happening is these people are hurting.
Yeah, I'm thankful for something in this world right now is that I've never been in that scenario.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, we've had the roof messed up a little bit, and
Oh,
I
sure.
lost the back patio ceiling, but
Little bit,
that's
yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
compared to having your car and a bag of clothes.
Right. And that's all you got left because the hurricane took it. Well,
You don't have a blender.
it's not. No, I can give her a blender. I almost gave my friend a blender for Christmas, but that would be Indian given since he gave it to me. That would be double Indian gift, Chinese given. That would be Chinese.
It's
given.
regifting.
What do
What do you think about regifting? You think it's okay or
I
not?
think it's fine. If you
I
don't
do
want that
too.
shit, I think you know what
At least it goes to a good home. Somebody might want it.
I'll tell you what I think. I asked you for the blender. Well, I didn't. You offered the blender, but I mentioned that I wanted the blender.
Right.
If I went and gave the blender away, that would be shitty.
I don't think so. It's your
I
blender.
do. I know it's my blender. That's what I'm saying. I believe in exchange of ownership.
Right.
You said, "Hey, you want those two high chairs over there?"
Yeah, game to you. Do what you want.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I almost sold them bitches." But then I started thinking, "Wait a minute, I want to redesign our outdoor studio table, and I'd rather it out there because they're comfortable seats."
Put it at bar height.
Yeah, that's what I want.
They're a little narrow for my big ass.
Well, yeah, but we can get some plywood and just screw it on there. But
That'd make it real comfortable.
I call that exchange of ownership. If you give me something that I didn't specifically go there and ask you to give me,
Even if you did, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, after I
I
used
gave
it.
it to you because I don't want it.
yeah, that's right.
You're getting shit out of my house.
Right.
Or out of my patio.
Well, this is a very interesting. I really want to hear your opinion on this. I'm going to just go ahead and start the video. I'm just going to tell you that typically on this show, when me and Tim mention the word tranny, we're talking about a car park. And that's not the case today.
Ah,
No, this is a very special situation of a lady here in Florida. Well,
kind of.
a kind of lady here in Florida. I'm not one to judge.
Nope. To each his own.
You be you, baby.
Everybody's their own freak on.
But this happened here in Florida, and this young lady person found a loophole.
Would be screaming right now if he knew about this. This little license now says female on it. It doesn't. Oh.
I suspect mental illness. Now, I'm not saying I suspect mental illness because this is a dude dressing like a girl. That doesn't bother me. I don't care nothing about that. I mean, we all got kinks, and you don't want to know mine. But
Can't say him on the air.
yeah, I can't say it.
They'll take the shot.
Take the shot. You don't want to know what I do with them motorheads all the time. Anyway, that's why they're always gummy. Anyway, this person's got situational problems.
Can't show you because then you would know way too much about me, but it says female. This was the last step in changing all of my documents. This was not easy. You're not even supposed to be able to do this in this state.
I would probably think that was a chick in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Not a really great looking girl, but
girl. I'm telling you, I've dated worse.
Oh yeah.
A lot worse.
12-pack will make you date anything.
Sober. and one time or two in Japan. So I mean, I've dated worse.
The loophole, here's the loophole. Listen up. If you're replacing your driver's license, not renewing it, but replacing it because you lost it, they have to take all of your information from what they consider a primary document. A passport is considered a primary document, and you can self-identify on your passport, which means, loophole, you can self-identify on your Florida fucking driver's license. So my passport says female, and I showed it to them, and they made a bunch of copies, and they had a whole fucking team meeting in the back. I shit you not, there were 8 people that were like looking at it, looking at me, looking back, and I swear, I was like, I just felt like I was gonna cry. It's so humiliating sometimes to be in a hostile state. Like, if you live in a hostile state, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know how possible it is to do this in every other red state. I don't know the loopholes everywhere else as well as I know them here. Then on the way out of the DMV, a guy rolled down the window of his Ford F-250 and yelled, "Nice dick," at me. So, you know, good things don't last forever. But that license is gonna last 10 years.
Well, maybe not.
Now that you brought it up.
Maybe not. Maybe it's not going to last you 10 years.
Yeah. Bring attention to yourself.
Mr. Ma'am.
Mr. Ma'am.
The Florida...
The guy in the F-250 says nice dick.
Florida man all the way, buddy.
Only in Florida.
And I'm surprised he knew because he must have had experience because I would have never known unless, you know.
I would think that's a girl just looking at that video.
Absolutely. Until that one time when she talked like this, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't play that part yet. But the Florida driver's license people responded by sending him a letter thanking him, literally, this is their quote, for bringing attention to this error and promise action to address it.
We're changing it.
In other words, that's no longer a valid driver's license.
You just screwed yourself.
Well, however, they believe that she might have committed a crime.
Oh.
Florida doesn't allow an individual to change their gender marker based on gender identity. Additionally, she may have violated a crime or violated the law by lying about losing his or her license.
Well, that's a matter of opinion.
Right. So, well, you can lose it anyway. So
I object, Your Honor.
Well, maybe I've lost mine 100 times.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. I can't tell you, but I'll tell you. I'll tell you something one day. Anyway, let's see if
all trans people a positive and easy get your documents in order December. And Ron DeSantis, you can suck my trans. I just got.
Yeah. So that's
that dude should be on our show. Just really. Like the way he talks.
No kidding. I mean, I wouldn't mind hanging out with that person. It doesn't bother me a bit.
No, be interesting.
I'm not one of those. I don't care.
Yeah, it's like gay. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, they were talking about gays in the military way before the don't ask, don't tell thing.
Right.
And I'm like, look around you. You can tell. You know, I mean.
Yeah. He goes on leaving, doesn't go out with the girls.
Yeah, if you got another one, I'll grab one. But that's fine. You know where the magic juice is down here in the top. But anyway, no, I don't care. You do you. Just stay away from kids. That's all I want you to do.
There you go.
I don't care if you go drill a hole in the tree and notch that. Just stay away from kids. That's it. Stay away from kids and don't screw nobody that don't want to screw you.
That's only fair.
That's it. If somebody don't want their ass touched, don't touch it. That's it. You can look at it from a distance. What the hell you got to touch it for? You ain't going to get it. She's just mad at you.
Right.
Or he. I'm not judging.
Oh, it's like I saw on the news, I don't know, a month ago, a guy got arrested for touching a child. He was sitting at a table. The kid was at the other table. They were back to back. And they got him on video. The guy reaches back and touches the little girl's butt.
Mm-mm.
It's like, dude, Really?
Mm-mm.
What did that do for you other than get you thrown in jail?
For the love of God, thank God that wasn't my child.
Oh, yeah.
Because
If that ever happened to me, there'd be
They,
some bodies.
my nephew had this situation where he liked to wear them little urban style clothes where he let his pants hang, you know?
Yeah.
And the teacher reached over there and pulled his pants, stuck his fingers in his belt loop and pulled his pants down to embarrass him in front of the class.
I bet that teacher has a new career.
Well, no. My sister and my brother-in-law went up there to talk about it, and nothing happened. And I went up there and talked to him in the parking lot about it.
And something happened.
No, and won't do that anymore.
A lot of verbal confrontation.
Ron DeSantis is our governor, who I think is doing it very well.
He's doing all right.
Sometimes I wish that they could run more than twice, you know. But,
Yeah, it's my way or the highway sometimes with him. He doesn't always look out for everyone's opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He uses his own to make a lot of decisions,
That's true.
which is natural.
Well, and why we voted for him. I mean, we voted for him.
Because he has his own brain.
Yeah, you know, but he's better than Rick Scott. I don't know why these people just love Rick Scott so much.
Skeletor is that's the only person on the presidential ballot that I did not vote for that was Republican. And I didn't just vote Republican because they're there.
Right.
I watched the commercials and I kind of tried to make an educated decision on who I thought was going to do well for me and for our country.
I agree.
He's a Republican, and I just don't think he's cool.
Yeah, I think he's a crook. I agree. Totally a medical condition there, Reaping Souls. I like that name, Reaping Souls. That's a cool name.
Should be a band name.
That really should be a band name. Not only that, it reminds me of our wall back there in the Studio B or Studio A.
Yeah.
With all the sickles and all the
the Reaper.
Yeah, it looks like we're ready to go on a killing.
Good call name, buddy.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that Reaping Souls thing, man. Well, yeah,
probably a guy, but it could be a girl.
Well, I don't know, man. These days,
I'm gonna guess guy though. Just
anyway, I'll tell you. He's talking about another senator in Florida that I don't like, Marcos Bubbles Rubio.
Oh yeah.
He says his appointment to the U.S. Senate in Marco Bubbles Rubio, his opening seat will be someone who's tough on H-1B visa program. Politico, according to Politico, the appointee will ensure H-1B programs aren't going to undermine the American worker. The H-1B program applies to employers seeking to hire non-immigrant aliens who workers specify occupations as fashion models or distinguished merit and ability. Now listen, we put a stop to all this shit. You want to stop abortion? I'll tell you how to stop abortion. The abortion debate. If a woman can decide on Monday that she doesn't want to be a mother of the child that's in her belly, and she can just go and have it sucked out,
right?
Then the guy should be able to say, well, I don't want to be a father, so either suck it out or keep it, but I'm done.
Right. I agree with that.
Because you know what that does? That stops men from being trapped by these women out there that will trap these shit out of you.
Right. Just go get pregnant so they can get
that
pile of money out of you.
Yeah, and get your money and get the state money.
Right. Yeah, there's no equal rights when it comes to that. It's like it's all the woman's decision.
It happens to.
Well, guess what? It takes two to tango.
It happens to. It happens to a lot of friends of mine, especially in the military.
Oh yeah.
They find these guys in the military, and God love my military brothers, but
they think it's a free way into the country.
Well, not only that. Well, no, don't even get me started on the Filipinos. I haven't offended them yet. I have not offended the Filipinos yet.
We're gonna get our scoreboard out there. I swear to God.
I can go to town on Filipinos right now. I'm telling you, Filipinos in the American military, I can go to town on them. However, some of the best food you will ever eat is cooked by a Filipino lady.
Oh, cool.
A Filipina.
Filipina.
Yeah, they speak like a mixture of Spanish and Italian. It's weird. It's a weird language they speak.
It's not Spanglish. It's
totally different. It's not Portuguese. I don't know. It's weird. I have a lot of, as weird as it sounds, I have a lot of friends that are Filipino, and this one guy I knew every time that he used the word F or the letter F, he pronounced it as a P. And if he used the word P, he pronounced it as an F.
So it would be fuck you.
Yeah, it'd be fuck you, you packet. You know, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And so I asked this guy. I never bought Pirelli tires. I never bought them.
So they're Pirellis.
I thought they were Pirellis, right? So I'm talking. All right, I'm in the barracks, right, and my roommate is Filipino, and we got this thing in common. We both like these little lowrider cars.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Nissan Sentra that I had dropped on the ground. You couldn't slide a can of Copenhagen underneath it. I had to shave door handles. You had to
You're a taco head, man.
Oh yeah, man! You had to pop the doors open from the. I had my steering wheel cut in half. It looked like I was Knight Rider. Oh, I did the whole thing on this car.
I was gonna say chain walk.
I bought this thing off the lot. I mean, I had Keystone web wheels all the way around it. The paint matched the car. Oh, it was just crazy. Oh, I was totally out of my mind. Anyway, he goes, you got to put some Pirelli tires on there.
Yeah, you buy it.
And I said, let me ask you a question. He said, what? I said, why do you Filipinos always put a P where an F is and an F where a P is? He said, what the hell are you talking about? I said, well, they're obviously Pirellis. And he goes, go look at him, asshole. The P's just really long and it looks like an F. And I went and looked and I got to apologize to him. I said, well, I'm sorry, man. That doesn't explain when you say flop, flop, fizz, fizz, you know. You know, he was a great guy. I enjoyed serving with him. He was an upstanding young man. My problem is these
you know, I gotta agree with you on the P being overstated on the Pirelli.
Yeah, because it does go.
I have that race car tire on the patio. From the 12-hour Sebring, and it's Pirelli. It's a nice yellow letter.
Pirelli,
the P is a long P.
And I thought that it was Pirelli, and I thought that was.
If you rubbed it on the curb one time, it would be Pirelli.
And you would be mad because you spent all that money on tires. But anyway,
oh yeah, they're expensive.
So anyway, the problem with these H-1B visas is that they, just like I said, you can stop the debate really quick if you just use your common sense. They don't have to pay these people that they get from India. They don't have to pay them jack shit. They give them almost no money. So basically it's slave labor. And Elon Musk knows that. Half the YouTube knows that. Almost everybody that's hired anybody on an H-1B knows that. So it's basically indentured servantry. It's just
cheap labor.
It's cheap labor. So you want to stop the problem? Okay, now it's a law. You have to pay them the same wage that the Americans get.
Yeah.
Because what's happened in at least 4 or 5 radio stations that I know about, and at least 2 or 3 places over at Disney in their computer offices in Orlando, you either got fired today with no severance, or you helped retrain your H-1B visa replacements.
And I heard about that a year ago.
Yes, that actually really happened. Yes, that actually happened.
I didn't know what that abbreviation was for. Now I do.
No, I mean, I like to keep everybody informed.
We're here for your information source.
Well, I try to be as helpful as I can because I like people. As far away as they can be. Tim can tell you how much I like people. I'll be right back. I took my pills early this morning. I did, man. I did. I'm so busy working on that song. I don't know.
Well, I just not a fan of the beat. I need something that little more uptake, I guess. A little tap your toe to it.
Well, he didn't move to an upbeat state. He moved to Texas.
Well, that's true. Texas is not the most upbeat. I don't even think there's a dance club in all of Texas, like what we used to call discos. Now they're just dance clubs or nightclub, I guess.
One of the best known rockers in the world came from Austin, Texas, named D.A. from Austin. But came from Texas named Stevie Ray Vaughan, and he even Austin's got a huge statue. Matter of fact,
God, and I like him.
my God, if you walk through Austin and you accidentally say the name Stevie and something bad after it, you might get your ass whipped. Even the liberals over there don't let you mess with Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Wow.
But yeah, he don't have a lot of fast stuff. And also, what came straight out of Houston was the Red Rocker, Sammy Hagar.
Oh, I like Sammy.
Yeah, and back before today, you kids might want to look it up. There was a guy called the Red Rocker, and his name was Sammy Hagar. And he was the original I Can't Drive 55 guy, but he had a lot of great songs before that novelty bullshit.
Yeah, that was just make me some money on the radio.
Yeah, and that was frustration. I bet you he was driving his Ferrari.
He probably got busted.
He's like, I can't get my car out of second gear. This is bullshit. Because the traffic is so bad in LA, so they deserve what they get.
No doubt.
I think California is a beautiful place, and you should move there. I think the same thing about Oregon and Washington.
Free up the rest of the country.
I think that, and as a matter of fact, I don't know why we don't just take California, Washington, and Oregon, whatever the fuck you call it, and say, hey, Canada, you can have these three.
And give us this.
We'll build a wall around it and give us Canada. You'll get just as much livable land.
They'll get an upgrade.
It would be an upgrade. But I don't know.
I've only been to Canada twice. I've been to Niagara Falls. Their side of the falls is way nicer visually than the United States side. It's prettier. It's not pro or anti-Canada or U.S., but it's just my personal take on it. I thought their view was a lot nicer.
Yeah, I've been to a couple places in Canada. And I like it, but I like it on those 17 days of summer.
Oh, it's like we had the 17 days of winter in Florida.
We have February and then summer. They have July and then February. But I have no problem with the Canadians. Anyway, security failure. Well, let me tell you what you shouldn't do if you cannot afford a plane ticket. You shouldn't climb in the wheel well.
Yeah.
Because two bodies discovered in JetBlue landing gear after flight lands in Florida.
Yeah, one, no oxygen. Two, you freeze to death. Boy, that's a brilliant move, kids. Why don't y'all try that? Just so you pay people to wear your pants around the butt crack.
The flight, no kidding. And this was right, and it was very cold in New York this week.
Oh, yeah.
So the flight originated out of JFK. But not only that, I heard that the same thing happened in California or somewhere just the other day. They found someone in the wheel wells. So if you can't afford a ticket, start a GoFundMe.
Yeah, do something.
But we don't want you to.
Don't ride in the wheel well.
We don't want you to.
You want to know how cold it is in New York right now?
Yes, I do.
Binghamton, New York, centrally located in the upstate New York area.
Is that near the Adirondacks?
Right at the very southern tip.
I'd love to go there one day.
It's a nice place to live.
I'd like to see it before I die.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you remember what we were talking about earlier about everybody wants to see something before they die?
Yeah. Well, when you're dead, you won't remember it anyway.
I know, but I want to go see it because I want to know why they invented those special chairs. But go ahead.
But it's
your daughter's where? What is it?
Seattle. Another place you don't really care for. It's 19 degrees and snowing in Binghamton, New York, which is a heat wave compared to yesterday. It was 7.
Yeah, it was cold yesterday.
And today in Seattle, it's same overcast, partly sunny at 43. And we're at 47.
Yeah. And
what's wrong with this picture?
I don't know. Well, guess what? If you're a Florida homeowner, you're safe. And I'm going to tell you why. You're safe because there's sheriffs like Grady Judd, Steve Whitman. What's his name? Steve Whitten. The Ocala guy.
I like Chad Cronister too.
Is that this one?
He's in Pinellas County.
Oh, yes. I mean, no, it's Hillsborough. Yeah, I don't know. There's
Hillsborough. Yeah, maybe it's Hillsborough.
Yeah, he's the one that locked up the church people for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, here's the homeowner.
Here's this.
Manatee Sheriff Rick Wells says the homeowner did exactly what was needed to be done to protect his family. He says the suspect, who was arrested, came to the U.S. on a 90-day visa from Chile.
There's those HB1s, the H1Bs again.
There it is.
Dear people that are out of state listening, Florida people will shoot your ass, and we will risk a stand your ground lawsuit. We will risk it.
Yeah, bring it.
In September. Just after 9 Thursday night, a man and his wife were in their home on Hickory Hammock Circle in Bradenton's River Club when they got a security alert.
They hear this commotion going on. They see these suspects that are masked up, trying to break into the home. They were able to pry that window open.
The homeowner only had seconds to act.
He knew that something bad was about to happen, and he didn't stall. He grabbed his firearm. He told his wife to get into a safe spot.
Manatee Sheriff Rick Wells says the husband came face to face with the masked men. One was already inside his home, and another was climbing through a window.
No,
Open season.
I'm telling you right now. Listen, some people don't like guns, and that's fine. I think that's great. If you don't like guns, that's
Guns
great.
don't kill people. People kill people.
I think that that's fine if you don't feel the need to protect your family. However, if you don't want guns but you still feel like you're worried, wasp spray. Keep it at every door.
Oh yeah, that'll blind your ass.
It will stop them in a minute. They will no longer, if they cannot see you, they cannot shoot you, they cannot harm you. If they cannot see you,
and then you can beat them with a rolling pin.
You can get them a rolling pin and a frying pan after that. But you get this hot shot stuff that's for spraying bees and wasps and everything.
It shoots like 30 feet.
Yeah, so it's just like it will stop people. They will not come near you. First of all, they can't breathe. That chemical will go in them. It won't kill them. It'll just make them wish they were dead for the next 6 hours. But anyway, here's the rest of the story. Because I know some people don't like guns, and some people can't have guns, and some people shouldn't have guns.
Nearby neighbors heard what happened next.
I sat down next to the lanai. The door was open, and I vividly heard, 3 gunshots.
27-year-old
For my Florida friends that are from here, I think lanai means front porch.
Jorge
Back porch.
on Flores Toledo of Mexico, who goes by Annabelle Miller Valencia, was injured and later died. Detectives say he had been arrested for burglary in Illinois and had an active warrant for a parole violation. The other suspect, 39-year-old Michelle Sotomelo, ran off. A Manatee Sheriff's K-9 stopped him a few blocks away.
I praise this husband for doing what he needed to do to protect his home and protect his family.
Sheriff Wells says Sotomelo entered the U.S. from California on a now expired 90-day visa from Chile.
Somehow made it to Tampa about six days ago.
Investigators are now working to determine if Sotomelo and Flores Toledo targeted other homes.
Of course they discovered they did. Yes,
used a translator as he was ordered held in custody.
I just want to say I never had any firearms.
I don't want you to interpret any facts of the case.
While deputies are working to figure out why the pair came to Manatee County, Sheriff Wells says there's one undeniable fact.
The bottom line is, this is the state of Florida. You want to break into someone's home, you should expect to be shot.
Woo, baby. He said what you say. You want to fuck around, you can find right out. We got rules.
And you break them,
we got rules.
We shoot you.
You got to figure. Oh, yeah, somebody posted on Facebook on when I shared our show yesterday. She said most people that drink beer for breakfast aren't up at dawn.
Bullshit.
I said, shit, we're not talking about chronic alcoholics here. We're just talking about people that got to get their day rolling. I mean, shit. You got to brush your teeth with something. Sometimes that crest tastes like shit.
I ran out of milk and put freaking beer on Fruit Loops, and that foams up like a bitch.
I've done it with Frosted Flakes before, though. I'm not proud of that moment in my life.
I know, really, that's kind of almost embarrassing, but not.
Yeah, but I go back to the point that I was only 16 and my mom was a drug addict.
Oh yeah.
He was like,
and she's like, "Here, have a drink."
Is there anything to eat, Mom? She's like, "Well, no. Well,
Go out and kill a cow.
She's a put. Oh no, I've been told that before too. My dad told me one time.
Daddy's got lots of cows. Just go get one.
My dad said, "If you're hungry, go reach in the damn freezer and pull yourself a steak out of there and just go cook it."
There you go.
No, I'm like, I'm hungry now, not 16 hours when the smoker's ready. It's like, no, just fry it. I'm like, no.
Hell yeah.
I can never do that to a piece of meat. Anyway, in Florida, you will get shot. You come fucking around down here.
That's exactly what that sheriff said.
That's exactly. But you know, and what's weird is and I really want to say this, even though we just covered the HB1 visas, these Hispanic people that come here and do all these farm labor jobs, those aren't who's causing most of your problems. It's
They're
their kids.
hard-working people, man.
It's their kids that they bring with them that might be causing the problems. And maybe we do something about that. Maybe we tell them they can't bring their kids; they have to stay with family or something. But these people that are coming here and getting on those buses every day and hitting them sugarcane fields, and down here they're growing radishes and lettuce and cabbage and beans and
oranges
and some of the best broccoli and cauliflower and celery you'll ever see down from Moorhaven and Clewiston and Palmdale and all these areas. That's just black gold, what we call our sand, when the big hurricanes came and killed everybody here. It washed up the whole bottom of Lake Okeechobee. That's why our soil is so good over there at the lake.
Right, because it's like muck on top of the sand.
And they call it black gold for a reason.
Very fertile.
And so those people aren't the ones doing the problem. These people that get on those big white buses and work their asses off in this Florida sun all summer long.
Yeah, don't just like them.
Yeah,
They're hard-working people.
They're just doing what they're supposed to do. You know,
they're doing shit that I don't want to do.
They're doing shit that nobody in their right mind would do. But they're smaller people, so it's easier for them to bend over and they're used to the heat.
Well, that could be true.
I mean, that's why some of us have flat noses.
Not stereotyping them, but they are more physically equipped for that type of labor than I would be. I'm 6'4", for Christ's sake.
You look at some Asian,
I bend over and it's like I'm a jackknife.
Yeah, really. But you look at some of these people, like in the Philippines, that have very flat noses. It's because the air is different. Their nose is equipped. They're not. It's not necessarily genetics. It's the way that their bodies have changed over time. That their breathing capabilities
they've adapted.
I don't want to say evolved because I don't believe in evolution. But
kind of. Like you change your environment,
right? Yeah, you do change your. Just like we are taller now. Japanese people used to be really short, but when they put McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken and Burger King in there, they're all like 6 foot tall now.
And having heart attacks just like us.
Just like us. Blaming it on Colonel Sanders, that poor bastard. You know, he killed somebody.
Did he really?
Someone fighting over chicken battles. Yeah, shot him in the field, and the sheriff said, "Well, it was self-defense because he was about to shoot you." That's the truth.
Well, hey.
Yeah, I don't know how the whole story played out, but I saw it on History Channel, so it's got to be true.
Oh, there you go.
Now, Brian Donalds is this black gentleman that I think is a Republican, and I want to get Tim's take on this, and I'd like to get your take on this. They're calling, along with Ron DeSantis, they're calling for no taxes on Social Security. They want you shouldn't have to pay taxes because you already paid taxes on it once.
Yeah, and here's another little twist on that whole thought. Why does a 70-year-old homeowner have to pay school taxes when they obviously have no children in our schools?
I can tell you the answer to that.
Because we like to tax people.
No, it's better for society that we educate our children.
Well, yeah, but what's that got to do with someone who doesn't have any benefit from paying school tax?
Well, they live here. Because if they live here and we don't educate our children, then those same children grow up to be hoodlums and rob your house. That was the whole theory behind it. Is it makes a better state if everybody pays the taxes, so everyone is individually invested.
So, like a guy with 4 kids doesn't have to pay more than someone with no kids.
Right. And matter of fact, he actually has to pay less. But
because they give you tax breaks for multiple children.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you because
to a certain extent. But now I see your point.
Also. As soon as the education union took over, as soon as the NEA took over, National Education Assholes, I think is what A stands for. We went from being the highest rated educating place in the world So we're down somewhere about our
like 3 or something.
No. So,
Lower than that?
yeah, we're lower than Mississippi.
Oh, damn.
And I don't even mean Florida. I mean the country. America.
Google is your friend.
And thank God I can type fast. I don't. The United States is ranked as the top country for education in the world by the U.S. World Report in 2024. Now, that is not what I heard the other day. So maybe I'm wrong. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Now when you dig deeper, you're digging deeper and you're finding out that they've lowered the expectations.
Oh, yeah, you lower the bar and you look back.
So when you're in 12th grade and they're trying to teach you what 12 plus 7 means, that's kind of a.
It's like, what the hell's wrong with this?
Yeah, that's.
And for the longest while, they weren't even teaching children how to write in cursive.
They still aren't. As far as I
they've
know,
gone back to it. I think they have.
How the hell are you going to sign your name? Just go back to the X. Anyway,
well, Zitter did it.
See, I think that's catching. Now, personally, it's just me, but if everybody still says formerly Twitter, that means that he's branded this thing totally improperly. Because if it's been 2 years, 3 years now, and people are still saying formerly Twitter,
yeah, you shouldn't even remember that.
So I say, like, xylophone starts with an X, Xavier starts with an X, and now Twitter is X. So then why don't they just call it Zitter? Like Zitter.
It would incorporate everything.
And instead of tweets, we can just call them zits. And if you have a bad zit, then you pop it. Anyway, that's what I think that.
Mama told me don't do that. It'll leave a scar on your face.
My mama told me that. She said just make sure it's not pitting acne. Anyway, Brian Donald too. I don't really like. I'm not going to say why, but I don't. And I don't like fat people in politics. If you're a glutton, dude, if you can't take care of your own diet,
that's one of the 7 deadly sins or something.
If you can't take care of your own, I don't have no problem with fat people. I'm fat. My wife's fat. We're fat people, but I'm not running your money. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you can't control your diet, you sure as hell don't need to be controlling my money.
Good
I
point.
mean, that's just the way I feel about it. And a lot of people got mad at me about
If you
it.
can't take care of yourself, don't try to take care of me.
I called Rush Limbaugh about it one time, and he said, I just don't know if that analogy works. And I'm like, well, you don't because you're fat. I mean, I get it. I mean, there's, I've got a dad bod, but Jesus Christ.
Is he still alive?
Rush, no, he died. Lung cancer. His last show was Christmas 3 years ago.
Rest in peace.
I toast him all the time. Back in the day when he first started getting famous, Ocala had this very expensive restaurant called Fiddlesticks. And I mean, it was like one of those $100 a night back then, $100 a night or $100 a person to take your wife or girlfriend to.
Oh yeah, $100 plate.
Yeah, and it was always steak. They didn't have hamburger or nothing.
Yeah, and the portions are real tiny, and they come with a swirly, pretty stuff on top.
You got what you paid for there, but they had a Rush room, and every day at noon when Rush came on, they closed off the outside, and you went to the out. They closed off the windows, and you went on the outside of the porch, and they piped out the old Rush Limbaugh show.
Really?
And you could smoke cigars out there and drink and do whatever you wanted. And every business person in Ocala did business from noon till 3 every day during the Rush show. We all went. I sold awning job after awning job after awning, because they look at you and they go, same mindset. I have a friend that has the Suzuki motorcycle company up in Ocala. Biggest liberal in the world. He probably has pink panties on right now. And he went up there and he was the biggest Rush-loving Republican shit-talking guy in the world. And he sold so many Suzuki motorcycles, he left there every day wanting to wash his mouth out because he hated it so much. And I'm like, why do you go? He goes, these all these sales? That's why I go.
Yeah. Wipe your tears with $100 bills.
But that's what business is supposed to be, though, man.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree. The guy knows he does good work. But he knew that if they knew that he was a liberal at first, then they wouldn't deal with him. But once you meet him for 20 minutes, once you get done talking to him, even before he finished the deal, they knew he was a slimy liberal. But they knew that he did good work. They could look at his past customers. And even people would walk up to him when he was at the table, and they would say, he's a stinking liberal, but man, he's got some great motorcycles, man. He'll give you a good deal. And he really did it. He really, actually, it was Martin Jomaha in Ocala. They're still there.
No relation.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. It wasn't Suzuki, it was Martin Jomaha.
Ah.
East Magnolia.
East Magnolia.
Yep.
I used to race motocross, and I almost had a full backing from Honda. They were sending me brand new dirt bikes when I was young and good at it. And they always told me, don't touch anything, just run it. Well, of course, the first thing you do after riding it 3 times is it doesn't have enough torque out of the hole, so I'm going to do this or do that. Then you have blown the engine up, and then they give you another one and give you shit for it. My motocross career ended with a horrendous crash. I was never supposed to walk again. My doctor, Dr. Cohen from upstate New York, God love him, he's passed on. And he fixed my knee where they said, you will never walk again without a cane or a wheelchair or whatever, or walker. And shit, I'm not the healthiest guy in the world, and I don't have a really good knee anymore, but he saved me the last 62 years when I was 17.
That would make you 78 or 82.
Well, no, I'm only 62.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I wasn't 62.
I'm being a smart ass.
You're being a dick.
Well, because you said he saved you 62 years. Anyway.
To walk for 62 years.
Well, no, because you didn't hurt yourself until you were 17.
16, 17, yeah.
Yeah, so you were fine those first 17 years. Anyway, I'm just giving Tim a hard time. No.
Actually, I wasn't. I had wrecked my knee. I shattered my kneecap when I was about 13. And then I had to have surgery for that. And that doctor fixed me up enough for me to go racing motocross. And then I really screwed it up and was almost a cripple. I guess that's the right word.
No, cripple is
that's a bad word.
That's cripple is a hate word. Matter of fact, it might be a hate crime these days until the 20th. I think
I would have been unable to walk.
Specially abled. You can't say disabled either. You can't say gimp. You can't say cripple. You can't say any of that. You got to say differently abled. That's like you can't say the R word.
There's a politically correct thing again.
You can't say, man, that guy is R word. You have to say, man, somebody slowed his timing down a lot.
Or he's a Democrat.
Or he's a Democrat. Man, they're gonna make that illegal soon too. Now, anyway, I don't know how much taxes we pay. I didn't think we paid taxes on shit like that in Florida. On Social Security, but I guess we do. I guess it's not.
We pay taxes on shit we don't even know we pay taxes on.
I'm not old enough for that trauma yet. Anyway, so anyway, that's what Byron Donalds is. That would have been a clue. Is one of a friend me and Tony's dad was Byron Smith. And his name was like Byron James or something like that. And he went by BJ. And I said, dude, you really let people call you that? He goes, well, really? What's the problem with it? Because all I can think of is, well, John. And he's like, man, I never thought of it that way. I said, well, then you don't have the right friends hanging around you, man, because somebody should have warned you.
Rethink this one.
I knew. But
speaking of weird names, I saw a commercial recently. It was for some insurance company. And this guy's name was Courtney. Have you ever heard of a male named Courtney? I never have.
I have a lot of people. But, you know, in the South, we name ourselves after our grandmas and grandpas. So that's how you end up with, like Tony's dad, Joe Joseph. You know, that's how you.
I know a girl's name was Jordan. First name Jordan. Father was an uphill racer, and his last name was Jordan, and that was her daddy. So her mother, who obviously was not thinking ahead, named her Jordan. Jordan. Nice girl. I like
ATB, man, I don't want to get caught lying. ATB is Texas is Publix, but it's way better than Publix. And I think his name is Harry E. Butts.
That's like naming your son Sue. You know, come on, really?
Yeah.
Harry Butts?
It's Howard Butts started ACB. Well, Howard, they call people named Howard Harry.
Yeah.
They sure do.
Like Charles is Chuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet they called him Ed a lot when he was a kid. They probably didn't call him Harry. Yeah.
If you mess around with the letters, you come up with Ed out of there.
Yeah. Well, no, his middle name is Edward.
Oh, well, that's true.
Yeah.
I do know a lot of people that go by their middle name as the first name.
A lot of people do. Yeah.
Especially if they're like juniors.
Yeah.
You know, if you're Howard Edward III,
yeah,
the family just calls you Ed, so they're yelling to you in a crowd. They go, "Ed, come here."
Yeah,
if they yell Howard, everybody comes running because there's 7 of you.
In the South, if you say Junior, everybody comes running.
Right.
In the South. Anyway,
or he's.
I just don't know. I don't know how that goes, but I want to every once in a while, and it doesn't happen every day, but every once in a while, a Florida man redeems himself. And while this isn't the end of the show, I'm going to go ahead and play the hero of the day for you. And you want to talk about a man that should do commercials for people? Well, I got the guy right here.
No recollection of that happening at all.
At all. This store sells some good liquor. I drank a lot of it that night.
The viral video shows Robbie Stratton running through a convenience store with an alligator in his hands. He takes the animal in the beer fridge as well.
I don't even remember.
The Florida man abides.
Only in Florida.
If you're going to go Florida man, this is the way to do it. He says that store, he goes, this store sells some really good liquor. And that night I drank a lot of it. I don't remember none of it.
And he's carrying an alligator.
Yeah.
Coming up here.
We asked Stratton where the alligator came from.
No
clue. I don't know.
No clue. I literally came to the store and he was in the back of the truck. They told me what I did was stupid and I'll be facing some charges here soon and probably go to jail, probably not. We'll see.
He says he regrets his decision and he's been in contact with the FWC.
Oh, what says you can't carry an alligator around? He doesn't bite nobody. Bringing your dog in.
That's molesting the wildlife, man.
Oh, that's right.
You
like
can't,
touching a manatee, you can't do that.
They say there's these guys that me and Tony used to watch. They're like the python hunters in Miami. They're real cops. One guy was named Big Country because he was a big old country. We got a red car like your wife's.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how he fit in it because he was your size but bigger. I mean, bigger.
I barely get in that car.
He loved that little Mustang though. But they were out chasing pythons and there was a baby gator and he assumed that the way that gator ended up there was that a hawk or an osprey or something had picked it up and carried it and they was going to eat it and the gator might have bit him and
dropped it.
Yeah, and somehow they dropped it. But he said, well, we're not allowed to move that gator. He said it's probably going to die out here, but we can't take it though in the water. Even they work for the county or they work for the state. They said it's illegal for us to.
Well, that's too damn bad.
That's just stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid.
That's a D-to-D moment.
Yeah. But you know, most birds of prey, once they latch on, they can't let go. They have to land to let go. That's why they don't hardly ever grab their fish. Yeah.
Got to have that release.
It's like a pit bull's jaw.
Right.
Once that adrenaline is there, it's locked.
Oh yeah, you can't pry a pit bull's mouth.
Right.
Most dogs have super gripping power.
Yeah, but a pit bull is a totally different monkey. But yeah, I've seen people go in there with crawl bars trying to separate them from dog in a dog fight when they'd be fighting in the backyard.
Yeah. You know, a pit bull's not always a bad dog.
Most of the time they're not.
Aggressive dog. People make a stereotype.
The
out.
owner is typically.
Well, like Dobermans had a real bad rap for the longest time.
Yeah.
And the reason they became a more aggressive and unpredictable dog is because people were crossbreeding them.
Right, they were inbreeding the shit out of
them
them.
so bad to get this perfect looking Dobie.
Yeah.
And I had a Doberman. That thing was a psycho, but he was a beautiful and loving dog. If you left him alone, he had separation anxiety. He would trash your house.
It's these crazy, it's this endless inbreeding. It's like the Warlock Dobermans, the giant, they're big, beautiful, beautiful. And they're probably the most expensive ones, but they've been so inbred so much.
Yeah.
And now, just about any dog you see, half the people that ever met Jethro swore that he was a pit bull. That dog's an English pointer. I mean,
he does have big ass head on him.
He almost said his name is Pointer.
Yeah.
English pointers, they look like a Mack truck, but everyone assumes that if it's got short hair and a skinny tail, that it's a pit bull. Well, I'm sorry. And they've mixed bred them so much. You've got American pit bulls, Staffordshire Terriers. You've got there's like 4 or 5 different quote pit bulls. When most of them, if you did a DNA test on them, they probably don't got no Staffordshire Terrier in them anywhere, which is where the original breed comes from. Anyway, what do you think this is? This is from Sydney, Australia. I'm not too sure that Australia actually exists, but they tell me it does. And if it does exist and the things they say about it is true, I think it's a lot like Florida. Everything there wants to kill you and eat you and can and will. But this was spotted just in Sydney the other day. And I didn't play the Zuckerberg video yet, did I?
I don't believe so.
But this is kind of strange. This is kind of a strange video. I didn't find that out of Art Bell or nothing. I mean, that was on Twitter, X, Zitter.
What the hell is it?
I don't know what it is, man. It's kind of a big cloud. Yeah, but yeah, well, they had one. I almost saved that video, but it was clear to me that it was a one of those Mylar balloons. Everyone's like, "Oh, there's an orb floating all the way across by the airport." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a balloon. Looks like somebody's birthday balloon just got away."
Yeah, people like to make up things.
Yeah, yeah, when their eyes, your eyes see things crazy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what that thing is, man.
I'll let your brain trick you.
Yeah, I don't know what that thing is, but it's weird.
Supposedly that's like on the ground or in the water.
No, that's in the sky. No, that's clouds all behind it. It's
well, then what are they looking at? That black spot?
Yeah, that thing.
What the fuck is that?
I know, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what the question is. What is it?
Huh? That's an alien.
Yeah, that looks like an alien. That looks like an alien. Somebody better call that weird guy with the weird hair on the History Channel.
Oh,
Ancient
yeah.
Aliens.
No little green man, but
Yeah.
that's something.
Yeah, there's something there that ain't supposed to be there.
Yeah, that certainly does not belong in that picture.
No, yeah, that was weird.
It could have been Photoshopped too. You know how this crap works.
They do talk. Yeah, well, most of it.
They claim they can determine if somebody has planted something in a picture.
You can.
I mean, don't have that technology available in my brain, but people that do usually can figure out if something's been doctored or not.
You can take it into Photoshop and run a scan on it and check pixels, and it'll just say like 640, 640, 640, 12, 640, 640, 640. And right there in that one dot, none of the pixels match. They know.
That's where someone inserted something.
Yeah, and like just like that little thing I got right there on the top, that my little code that you can tip money with.
Yeah, how do you do that when you're lost?
Well, I got the link right next.
Wow.
The hell? I don't know. I don't know. So now I didn't have I guess the Florida man was our hero of the day with the gator. Well, right now I'm going to give you our stupid white man of the day. Stupid white man of the day says he's moving to Tanzania because he hates white people. He's a white guy. He hates white people and everything that white people make, do, and say. However, he didn't mind wearing those glasses or those clothes or on his cell phone that white people made.
Yeah.
Well, white people didn't make them; they invented them.
The Chinese made the phone.
Well, no. We
Or
hired
Japan.
Chinese to make the phones, and they used black people called Uyghurs that they used as slaves. The Uyghurs are a faction of the Muslim religion.
Oh, really?
They go to China. China captures them. They lock them up in prisons over there, and they use them as slaves.
Huh.
Yeah, and that's why your Apple phone is so cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. It's because you know why your Apple phone is so expensive? Is because you dumbasses pay for it. No offense to your Apple phone owner.
Yeah, you know,
It is what it is, man.
pick your own poison.
Yep. Anyway, here's the friendly, the most
Idiot white man of the day.
yeah, I'm trying to think of delayed timing white man of the day. Overly delayed timing. White man of the day. And he's got more problems than oh no, I got another one. Hold on, yeah, here you go.
Next week, if people are saying it makes them want to leave the US, they're feeling correct. They should. I am doing it in 7 days. They are welcome to join me. Message me privately for my flight information.
I think that he's probably one of those people that likes little kids. And he's running from somebody.
I'm going to Tanzania.
Is it going to feel better there?
Yep. Because nothing that is here is there.
What are the things here that are making you feel bad that are
White people. White people and everything that white people make and do and say.
You are white.
I am.
And you're going there?
Yep.
Are you going to infect it with your whiteness?
No. I never infect it with my whiteness. Because
this has got to be the stupidest. Look, man,
that is dumb.
I would like to beat him about the head and face with a tree stump for about 5 minutes just to see if he could even feel anything. Because there's nothing left up there. You know, he probably wears a mask when he gets in his car and closes the door.
Yeah.
I just observe and listen and ask how I can be helpful. I don't put my business in anybody else's business. So I just go, hey, I'm just here hanging out. If anybody wants something, let me know. And that's what I've been doing for 8 years. And everybody there welcomes me, and I feel very welcome to there.
But he's still got them white people glasses and them white people clothes.
So much better there. And I think
and then white people razors.
People from the West who go to places like that feel better there, and they don't feel good in places like the US or developed wealthy nations. That's the problem. Capitalism is the problem.
So go live in a freaking cave, you asshole.
Capitalism is the problem. Capitalism, well, what that means is that you're lazy and you don't want to work for anything.
Yeah.
So you can go over there and get shit you think for free, but then you got to realize.
You go
when
to
you
certain
start
countries
fucking around
with $100 grand, you're a millionaire.
There's race wars going on all over Africa right now. You do not want to be white in certain parts of Africa. And I'm pretty sure Tanzania is one of them. So we will be hearing about him being roasted on a pit somewhere in the next 6 or 8 months. Because he ain't going to make it.
No loss to society there.
This is, I think I'm going to end the show with this. I think we're pretty much read through all of our material. But I want to end the show with this and show you that diversity matters, and you too, with a strong arm, can learn to throw hatchets. Nope, I hit the wrong button. You too can learn how to throw cutlery and hatchets and whatnot things. All right, now if this guy right here hasn't had a whole bunch of butt sex. Somebody ought to beat his parents' ass. I wouldn't even date a girl that threw like that.
He does throw like a sissy.
I wouldn't even date a girl that looked like that. Or that threw like that. Yeah, somebody did him wrong. Somebody did that kid wrong. Growing up, they did him wrong. Shame on them. They'll never be forgiven for what they did to that child. Anyway, I'm done. Are you done? Have you got anything to offer?
I'm good.
Okay, Tim's good. I'm good.
Peace out.
Peace out. Let me look here.
What are we gonna leave him with?
I got to make sure I don't got something else I need to share. Okay. Since my first song was an Elon song, I'll do an Elon song. Tim likes this one most of the time. If I can find it. Man, I got so many files on here. I really need to whittle this shit down a little bit. Don't you think? God.
Possibly.
Yeah. It's here. I know it's here.
You have too much to choose from.
Yeah. I hope I didn't delete it. I hope I didn't delete the one you like.
Oh, my Tesla?
Yeah.
You played it yesterday.
Did I? That means I probably didn't delete it yet. Oh, no. Oh, phew. I'm telling you, man. I've been off this morning. You know, I couldn't get any of my word pronunciations right. And it might be because I'm not getting enough sleep.
Or any.
Yeah, I get some sleep. I sleep sometimes when it's important. Like here in a minute when I go eat 3 hot dog corn dogs. There it is. Yeah, I'll leave you with this.
Came home late from a moonshine run. House was empty, her leaving was done. Took her suitcase and the dog along. Left me a note, you better off alone. Figured I'd lean on my Tesla truck for a ride, but it booted up, said no room inside. Rolled itself out of the driveway slow. Tail lights fading, left me in the cold. Even my Tesla truck is up and gone. The silent motor hums a goodbye song. Left me here in this broke down chair, talking to ghosts that ain't even there. Doesn't take much for a man to lose touch. First my girl, but that didn't bother me much. The good Lord knows it's just plain wrong. I just noticed my Tesla truck is gone. Spotted it live on my tracking app. Parked by a bar and I'm tired of this crap. My dog's in the cab, wagging his tail, and my ex in the back doing Charlie Sheen rails. They're living it up, it's out on the roam, posting selfies on Instagram with its data phone. It's electric power, don't need no gas, while I'm stuck here watching my Bitcoin crash. Even my Tesla truck is gone. Silent motor hums a goodbye song. Left me here in this broke down chair, talking to ghosts that ain't even there. A man can quickly lose touch. First my girl, but I don't miss her much. The good Lord knows it's just plain wrong. I just found my Tesla truck up and gone. They say the future's bright and clean, but I really miss the days of gasoline. It had no clutch to fix, no tank to fill, but I have Tesla payments still. Even my Tesla truck is gone. Electric motor spinning to a highway song. Took my dog, took my last damn beer. Left me stranded, drowning in tears. A man can only lose so much. Now I'm praying for a little luck and a little water gets under the hood. When it blows up, it'll stay gone for good. So if you see that truck on the open road, battery fading fast with no tow load, tell it I'm here and living large, and don't call me when it needs a fresh charge.